Everybody progressives are convincing Joe Manchin to vote for Biden's social safety net package. And Chuck Schumer is now working towards changing the filibuster to get more bills through Congress without the report from the Republicans. And there's also a historic increase in monthly benefits, and that's happening this month. As you can see, we have a lot of news about the fourth stimulus check that you have to know. So be sure to stay until the end of this video.
Now to Capitol Hill, where the focus is on a handful of moderate Democrats holding up the president's $1.75 trillion human infrastructure bill. Those 5 lawmakers say they want to see the CBO score, a detailed rundown of how much it will cost before agreeing to support the bill. I've got one of them with us right now, New Jersey Congressman Josh Gottheimer, co-chair of the Problem Solvers Caucus. Congressman, first, I want to congratulate you, the bipartisan bill. Huge, huge achievement. I know you've been working on it for months, but let's talk human infrastructure. Why bring this CBO score up so late in the game?
Well, first, Stephanie, thanks so much for having me, and thanks for pointing out the big win for our country, bipartisan, I'd add, right? Democrats and Republicans came together, fix our roads, our bridges, our obviously the Gateway Tunnel between New York and New Jersey, get that going, our water infrastructure, rails, transit system, so much that's good for the country, 2 million jobs a year. And to bring up the other package, which also was very important, something that I've supported, the reconciliation package called Build Back Better, that will help us reinstate SALT, the state and local tax deduction, and get taxes down for people in my district. What we asked for, and as you know, Stephanie, we got the bill basically final language on Thursday night. And there were new things added, so we had questions to make sure that we understood how it's paid for, to understand exactly what's in it. And we think it's the responsible thing to do to read that bill. It's 2,000 pages, the new bill, and to compare it to the old text, which was also 2,000 pages. So we've had people working around the clock to make sure we know what's in there and make sure it's great for our districts. And I'm optimistic that that'll happen. And the numbers that we got, we hope will match up with what we received already from the White House and Treasury on some of the data on the cost of the bill and see how they match up with the investments. So I'm optimistic that the data we will get next week, which we're expecting, will all match up and we'll be able to move forward.
Let's talk about taking a victory lap on the hard infrastructure bill. The markets yesterday hitting new highs in large part because of the bill you passed. Yet Democrats say nothing. It's like you don't want to take credit for good news on Wall Street because it alienates people. Now, the markets and the economy are not the same thing, but when Wall Street wins, Main Street doesn't.
But Democrats are far from alone in the behind-the-scenes drama. Today, it shifts to the Republican Party, more specifically to the 13 GOP House members who voted yes on that infrastructure bill. Punchbowl reports that Republican leadership is bracing for rank-and-file members to attempt to strip committee assignments from their colleagues in retaliation for supporting President Biden's legislative agenda. Joining me is Punchbowl News founder Anna Palmer. She's also an MSNBC contributor. You know, I'm old enough to remember the day when you often got a pass from your colleagues because they knew you were going to have a fight and you had to do what your constituents wanted you to do. Remember that somewhere back in the back of your mind? Tell us, though, what's going on behind the scenes and what you see happening here.
Yeah, times have really changed from those days of yore, I guess, on Capitol Hill, particularly when it comes to the Republican Party. You have these rank and file members who are really frustrated with the few members who did vote, the Republican members who voted in support of this infrastructure package. They wanted to be able to say that it wasn't bipartisan. And if not even that, they wanted to make sure that Speaker Nancy Pelosi had to get across that 218 threshold on her own, and the Republicans weren't going to help her out. That didn't happen because there's a lot of frustration by members that did support it, in particular Representative Katko.
Centrist Democrats now control the fate of Biden's social spending and climate package. That's after Congress passed his bipartisan infrastructure bill last week. And the House progressives also dropped their blockade of the infrastructure measure after they secured commitments from a narrow but pivotal group of moderates and moderate Democrats who said they would vote for the Build Back Better bill after the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office released a cost analysis that matched the White House estimates, saying the legislation is fully paid for. Now, 5 Democratic lawmakers said in the joint statement that they committed to voting the Build Back Better Act to be approved in its current form other than technical changes, as expeditiously as we receive fiscal information from the Congressional Budget Office. That's what Representative Gottheimer told CNN. that they fully intend to pass it by the end of the week. Progressive activists are organizing to keep the measure on House centrists to follow through and vote for the bill, with some feeling anxious that the left gave up its main leverage by passing the infrastructure measure before a vote on the larger spending package. Pramila Jayapal told MSNBC that I need to look at some numbers, but they would not vote on it. But that they would vote on it, and that's a commitment that they made to me. It's a commitment that they made to the president, and it's a commitment they put into writing. Everybody, if the bill passes the House, it still needs to be cleared in the Senate, where two key obstacles remain. The first is Manchin. He has objected to some of the provisions in the House bill, particularly 4 weeks of paid family leave, medical leave. That and other policies may need to be removed to win his vote, without which Democrats cannot advance the bill. The second obstacle is the Byrd Rule, which limits the budget process that Democrats are often using on the matters of spending and taxes. Republicans now cannot change any provision as extraneous, and the Senate parliamentarian will decide whether it can be included. Everybody, what are your thoughts on Joe Manchin? Is he holding back our stimulus check? Now, Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is now concerned that President Biden's massive social spending bill will be gutted in the coming days. Ocasio-Cortez was one of 6 House Democrats and all members of influential progressives who voted no on the bipartisan infrastructure bill, which will be signed into law next week. The 6 hardline progressives balked after Democratic leaders renewed on a pledge to bring up both the infrastructure bill and the spending bill for votes at the same time. In a letter to her colleagues, Ocasio-Cortez said that she felt Congress may have jeopardized funding for important programs and any chance to meaningfully address the climate change by failing to pass both bills together. A historic increase in food stamp benefits began this month, but many people are wondering if it's enough. The Biden administration announced an increase to SNAP in mid-August, describing it as the largest in the history of the food stamp program. At the beginning of next month, the average monthly benefits for SNAP increased by 25%. The increase came just in time for the millions of Americans who benefit from the program and who will no longer receive a temporary crisis-related state subsidy. This November, approximately 398,400 SNAP households will receive around $63 million in extra food benefits. Emergency allotments, though, will be available on November 11th, and that is going to all current SNAP households. New SNAP households will receive the emergency allotments November 30th or December 2nd. Thank you again for your support, everybody. I truly appreciate it. And if you have any more questions about the fourth stimulus check, leave them in the comments below.
Okay. Thanks so much. Yesterday, some Senate Democrats sent the president a letter on high gas prices and how to combat those, including suggesting banning crude oil exports. Is President Biden considering banning those oil exports?
The oil exports from?
The Senate Democrats wrote a letter asking the president to ban crude oil exports.
Okay, got it. Got it. So the administration